Hi, thanks for dropping by and having a look at our Magic Soccer Bot. This is just a quick run through on what the bot will do for you. Okay, I'll try and keep it as brief as I can and cover everything we have. First of all, the Magic Soccer Bot is a betting bot for Betfair. So Magic Soccer Bot bets directly into Betfair using the data from Betfair, and it bets straight into your account. So it's an automatic betting bot. And we are using in the Magic Soccer Bot the correct score marketplace, and we're looking at laying the correct score. So we want any other score except the favourite score, and that's what the Magic Betting Bot does. So let's just start off and go through it. First of all, we will look at the settings, and that's the settings page that we're on here at the moment. If we go over here to the right hand side, here we see lay 1, lay 2, lay 3. These are exact duplicates of each other, and they allow us to bet 3 different criteria. So we can change the mark, we can change all these figures in here on each one, and they will be placing 3 independent bets. Okay, depending on what criteria we put in to the lay 1, lay 2 and lay 3. Okay, and if we look up the top here, we've got 1 to goes right across 1 to 20. These are individual betting tabs, and they are explained in the user guide, but they are essentially where our bets go and are staked and are housed during the bet, and then the results are recorded here. So we can see lay 1, lay 2, lay 3. This is tab 1 we're looking at here, and all our bets are recorded for us in there. And the sequence is, you don't have to use all the 20 tabs. I use 10, it's up to you. Okay, but having 10 tabs utilised, meaning we can bet on 10 games simultaneously, or 30 games actually if each lay 1, lay 2, lay 3 have bets. Let's get back to the settings. Okay, so in the settings, the first thing we need to know is obviously here on the right hand side is where we place our criteria for the bot to bet out on. The left hand side, this is lay M. These are all the matches that are going to be available for us today, right through here, and these are the leagues that are available to bet on today. Now you can go and deselect these if you want to. In our results net, we don't deselect anything. We allow the criteria on the right hand side to determine what matches we're going to bet on. Auto reload, we have that ticked, and every 2 hours this automatically updates, so it's always got matches in here that we'll be betting on. Okay, the green button here is the that direct links through to the user guide for the bot. Any updates or upgrades we do in that, the information is in there, and also strategies that we are using, the information is in there. Betfair help is a direct link back to the Betfair website, so you can find out questions you want to know. The wallet obviously is how much is in your account. The first figure is how much is in your account, and the second figure is the deduction of any bets that are in progress at the time. Commission, if you're betting 5% is what we use. The API request, you can see there it's very low, 0.5%. If we clicked on show the market here, this would jump up. If we clicked on, say, for example, click on a game. Now it's actually drawing data from Betfair, and this API request now will jump up. There's no need for anything to be in here. The bot reads all the information directly from Betfair's computers. We don't need to be looking at anything in here at all. So always have show the market unticked. You'll save API requests and won't clog up your VPS or your bot or your computer. Okay, so here we go. Lay 1, lay 2, lay 3. This is the reflection on what each of these tabs up here is making. At the moment, lay 2 is 2 cents in deficit, lay 2 is 8 cents up, and lay 3 is 25 cents up. Okay, that's all we need to know there. So if we move over now to our settings, this is the area that you'll set it up, and then the bot will bet to these instructions that you have here. So I'll only do lay 1 because obviously lay 2 and lay 3 is exact mirror image of each. Just the criterion here will change. So in the minimum prices, we're prepared to take between 1 and a maximum price of 10. So if the favourite correct score is between 1 and 10 in the odds, then it's going to be a bet for us. I always have pre-play, so we're going to put our bets on the match before the match starts, and usually 5 minutes is what I put. Minimum matched amount. Now, this is the minimum matched amount in the correct score market. I've got 8,000 there because my account's in Australian dollars, but if you're using pounds, have the minimum match at 5,000. What this does, we find that £5,000, it's giving you a reasonably accurate view on what the market's doing. If you get down too low, you can get some favourite score lines might not be a true indication of the game. So that's what we do there. We keep it at £5,000 or 8,000 Australian. The price gap between first and second. Now this is the price gap. If we go over here and have a look, the price gap between, say, 1-0 and the next favourite, or whatever the favourite price is. This is a bad match because there's no money in it. But the price gap means the favourite score and the second favourite score must be within $1 or £1 of each other. If it's not, then the bot will bypass this match and won't bet on it. In strategies, we use as the gap is 1 in this one, but also use 1.5 or 2 depending on what criteria you want. Obviously the higher the gap, the more games you're going to be involved in. Okay, stop at a profit per match. Now, this is really a target. How much do we want to win per match? And I've just got this set at 10p. I want to earn 10p or 10 cents for every time we get a winning match. That's what I want to do. And I have ticked to continue so that the bot will continue after it's got it's won its money. It continues. Now these next two, stop at a profit each tab and stop at a profit all tabs. It really doesn't matter what you put in there if you have these two ticked, because the reason for these in here is that if you said I only want to make £5 per tab, and if you had that unticked, when it got to £5 profit, it wouldn't bet anymore. It would stop. And same with here, if we had 5 in here, if all the tabs profit equal 5 and you didn't have this ticked, it would stop betting. And you may want to do that, but we don't. We just want to keep the bot betting and keep on earning money every successful match that it gets. Okay, now these are new additions, and those so most of you won't have seen these new additions now. Stop at a loss liability each tab. Now here I've got 12. This means if we have some losses on the tabs and the bet's steady creeping up, if the bet is going to risk us more than £12 or whatever you put in there, more than £12, $12, whatever it is, then the bet will not be placed and it will revert back to trying to win the 10p or whatever you've got up here in the match. So this is a new addition and gives you a lot more control on the bot and how much it is trying to bet. Okay, so if you have it at 12 and the bot goes to put a bet on and the money you're going to lose is going to be more than 12, then it will not place that bet on that tab and it will revert, as I said, back to your target, which in this case is 10p. So we have this click to continue and restart. So once it passes that or comes up to that, it will restart back again. The yellow box here is the stakings. Now if we have that ticked here, continue no restart, it means that it will ignore this here. It will never get to this here. It will only keep reading the orange box. So if you have it ticked, as I've got, continue and restart for the orange box and continue and not restart for the yellow box, then the bot will always only be reading the liability figure. Okay, we recommend you use the liability rather than the staking. The staking, if you've got 10 in there, you could lose up to $200 or £200. So always best to run on the liability. Okay, always must have this tick, distribute losses among all enabled tabs. So if we have a loss, the loss is distributed amongst how many ever tabs we have up here running. If I've got 10 tabs, which I do, then the loss will be distributed amongst each of these tabs. Okay, so we're not trying to recover all the losses in the next bet or anything like that. No bet if the favourite price line is 10, 01, 11 or 020. Now you can have these unticked and it won't filter out any score line. But as I've got this one here ticked, if the favourite score line is 1-0, then the bot will bypass that match. Okay, all these criteria have to be matched before the bet is put on. You can tick all 4 if you want to, then it's not going to bet on very much at all. Maybe 0-0 and 0-2 or something like that, but it's up to you. You'll find that 90% of the bets that we have are actually 1-1. That's the most favoured bets that we get. Okay, always have Mexican wave tick. That means with Mexican wave tick, it will go from tab 1 to tab 2 to tab 3 to tab 4, right up to tab 10, and then we'll restart again. And that's how the bot is designed. If you have that unticked, it will always try to bet on tab 1, and it's not really the way that we want to do it. Profit delta, I've left that blank, but you can put a figure in there, say another, whatever you've got up here, you can repeat down here. It means when you get a losing bet, apart from just recovering the stake and trying to get the target, it actually adds another target because that bet lost. So you want to add another target to that there. So it means basically, in theory, if you had 100 bets and 90 lost, and you had that no profit delta, then you would make, and your target was say £1, you would make £90. But if you had the profit delta at £1 as well, and you had 90 winning bets out of 100, you would win £100 because those losing bets would have another £1 added to them to recover. So that's what profit delta does. When you put in all your criteria in that, you must push stop and then push start so that the bot can activate all of what you've just put in here. Obviously, when you're finishing at the end of the day, or whenever you're finishing, push stop on each tab that you've got open, tab lay 1, lay 2, lay 3, push stop, and then close the bot. The stakings, the results will all be then kept until next time you open it. Log out, you don't need to use it, but it will log you out of your Betfair account, and clear. If I push this clear here, it will clear all of lay 1's staking plans for each of these tabs up here. So you can see how much profit we're making here. They will all be cleared out and staking will start at 0 again if you push this clear button here on lay 1 and say lay 2. So you can clear all the lay 1's but keep lay 2 and lay 3 if you want to. It's up to you by pushing that clear button. Okay, so the next thing we'll look at now is the current bets. Obviously, if that's where any bets are happening now, they'll be in here. Cancelled bets if they've been cancelled. And here's our results, our running results tally of lay 1, lay 2, lay 3. They're all tallied in here at the same place. If we go to the log tells us exactly what the bet is doing at any given time. So if you had a game and it didn't get bet, you could go in here and say, for example, how come such and such game wasn't bet? Then you can come here and have a look. Not bet due to the favourite being any other home team to win. So that's why that game wasn't bet. Or you'll find that the gap not qualified due to the favourite and second favourite gap being greater than 1. So this is for a late 1 here. So you can go through and then you can see the bets here. Here's a profitable bet that was being placed, and it's we had it 3 times because the 3 options I had, this game qualified for all 3 of them. Okay, now if we go to logs, this is where the bets are housed when the game's played and they stay there, and this is where all the staking and that happens. So if we look at here, we're on tab number 1, distributed loss. At the moment, tab number 1 is carrying losses of 7 cents for lay 1, lay 2 and lay 3. So one of the other tabs have lost and distributed its losses. So we know that in the next lot of bets for all these three, when it comes around to tab 1 again, they will be looking at trying to win their 10p or whatever it is, plus another 7p to make up for the loss that's been distributed by another tab. And over here we can see the profit for this tab. Lay 1 is making 10p, lay 2 is making 10p and lay 3 is making 10p. Now we can clear all the results out of this tab if you wanted to by pushing that button, or we could just clear the staking for the lay 1. So if we push this would clear the staking for lay 1 only in this tab, and consequently lay 2 and lay 3. So we've got control over what we want to do within each tab. We can see there's my bets. This spot only just started yesterday, so, and here's the tab that's carrying some of the losses. See, this one here has got some losses here, and those losses have been distributed amongst other ones, and we can see that it's also carrying some as well. It carries some of its losses, but because I've got 10 tabs, 10% of its losses will stay with it, and the other 90% will be distributed among the tabs up here. Okay, so that is basically the Magic Soccer Bot in a nutshell. It will run on, as I said, it will run on any base Windows computer or VPS, and it can run 24/7 and just keeps on reloading the matches and all that. So that's what you're getting with Magic Soccer Bot. The improvements we made at the start of August now means you've got, start of September, meaning we've got now 3 strategies we can play with within the one bot instead of just having the one. Okay, plus we've got the liability, and now we've got the price gap, so you can change the price gaps. And in lay 2 I'm using a 1.5 price cap at the moment, and 1.5 is making me just 8 cents at the moment, but early days. And then lay 3 I'm using the 2 price gap. Everything else, all the criteria is the same. I've just changed the price gap, 1 for lay 1, 1.5 for lay 2 and 2 for lay 3, and we can see we're making 25 cents or P on that after the first day. If we were using for if we were going for a £1, obviously that would be £25, £8, and losing £2 on that one. Okay, so thanks for watching Under the Hood with Magic Soccer Bot. I hope you liked it. If you don't have it, I suggest you grab it and start enjoying your football a lot more. Nothing to do, just click on current bets, look at the matches, what they are, and then go to live score or watch them on TV and see how your selections are going. So on behalf of Michael and myself, Steve, thanks for watching this Under the Bonnet Magic Soccer v.1.19 and 1.2. Thank you.